1947 Dodge, and there's some expressions that I could think of. You're having a laugh, I don't believe it, bloody hell, and a lot worse. 10 years I've had this car, and 2 years ago, after the engine had been rebuilt once just before I bought it, and then immediately after I bought it, but 2 years ago there was a knocking sound from the engine. The engine was stripped and everything was fine. Pistons were sent away and tested and God knows what, and there was no problem. Put it back together again, still had an engine knock. Conclusion was maybe it needed new pistons, so I bought new pistons, took the engine, took it apart again, but finally found it was a harmonic damper. Well, finally, after 10 years and 2 years of pissing about with an engine knock, I'm pleased to say everything is now okay. And the car should start, and it should run as it should. That makes sense. Choke's a bit stiff. Oh, radio's on. Hang on. It's always been a slow starter, but always starts finally. Put the choke back in. Pull the hand throttle out a bit.
Hello, Deirdre. Hello, Anita. Hi. I'll try and keep this very brief.
The radio is interesting because this was obviously the original valve radio, and that was AM only. So I had it converted so that it does FM now and AM, but the insides now are modern, so it works basically using the radio controls that the original ones, but you can pick up FM. But in addition, I can put a MP3 player here to this, and it automatically plays through the speakers, which I've now put in the back of the car. And it also runs off the radio. It runs a USB connector, and which I can plug my sat nav into, and some 2 power points which I can also use for sat nav or anything else. So actually I could charge my MP3 player from that USB port and play it on here, and it runs through the radio, all running off this radio. So that's pretty good. Obviously it still works as it originally did on these old radios, where the top one here turns the radio off, and these are presets. The only thing now is that the presets don't actually work. All of them, or any one of them, actually just turns the radio on. That light's come on over there, so that means that the power pickup is there. There we are. I could have danced all night. YouTube will probably ban this now because I'm playing copyright songs. So now the engine is beautiful. So finally, after all these years, I've got a lovely engine that's like new. I've actually got a spare set of pistons, but maybe they'll come in useful. So there we go. I thought we'd better have a look at the engine though. There we are. Steady as she goes, as they say on the sea. That engine's as steady as anything. I mean, there's no vibration or anything. It's beautiful. And down there, my new harmonic damper, which I sourced in America from a company called Damper Doctor. Brilliant. Doing its job, because that engine is really, really rock solid now. Quiet. The only real noise is coming from the fan and the belt. But the engine itself is extremely quiet. That's the 6-volt battery here for the car, and the 12-volt battery over there, actually I added simply to run the washer system, because at the time I couldn't find a 6-volt washer pump. I have found some since then, but the 12-volt battery just runs that. I was going to use it to as a 12-volt power uptake, but now that I've got the radio sorted out to do that, I don't really need the 12-volt. And I have got some spare 6-volt washer pumps, old Volkswagen ones. So there we go. I'm kind of proud of that now. It took 10 years to get the car really sorted, but at least it's done. Beautiful car.